What's up, everybody? Rick here at Bear Forex, and today is Tuesday, August 25th, 2020, and this is the Tuesday update for my USD portfolio, trading weekly and an update on my dailies. Not much going on in the news this week. That's why if you go to my blog, I didn't really post anything about this week's news items, because basically with the RNC and all the speeches coming out, there's really just not much going on. It's all useless. I mean, when everything, it's just a bunch of speeches. I mean, they're going to tell you stuff that you already know if you're paying attention, and nothing they talk about is not already priced in the market. Rarely is there a surprise. So there's not really much going on. Anybody who's trading can just look at the charts and tell that there's nothing. It's all been technical trading since the weekend and probably for the rest of the week. So I don't put too much into that. Like I said, the RNC is going on this week, just like last time, and the DNC, I don't watch any of that stuff because you can't believe politicians. Everybody lies and everybody uses everybody for their own agenda. So that's the truth, if anybody likes it or not. You can live in your pretend world where you think that Democrats and Republicans are different. They're not. Neither side cares about anybody but their own power and the people that back them. Every politician is bought and owned by someone. And if you actually think that you make a difference, you're a fool. And that's the truth. Now, the markets have not reacted to anything because there's really nothing going on. And so I'm going to fire up my chart now. And I got a message from somebody. I forgot their name. And they asked, why do I always fire up the chart? Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. They asked, why do I do this? Why do I have to check and all that? And that's because I have multiple screens up in my little workstation. And I record. I have 2 screens running. If I turn the recorder on before I fire up the chart, then you're just going to watch my desktop. And basically, that's boring, and I don't want to edit that out. And I just like to do it this way. And if you don't like it, well, go someplace else. This is the way I do things. Okay, you want me to hire you? You want a job? Is that it? You want to come over and show me how to do it right? Yes, I'm being a jerk, and I don't care. So, here we go with the weekly charts on AUD/USD. As we can see, same numbers apply here, spiking through 72, bouncing off 71 for the last month and change. It's funny, I was just thinking, for all you people out there who watch this or who will ever watch this, if you're a real trader, not the fake ones that we have all over the place pretending to trade, if you'll know what I mean. When you execute a trade and then all of a sudden the market goes against you, or you start trading your new system that you just tested and you're all excited and then the market slows down, right? That's basically what I feel is like happening to me right now ever since I started doing this YouTube thing. Because I started, my first video was right around here, right? And ever since then, this is the weekly chart, so there's really not much going on. But what I can tell is it's going to be a while before there's a move, right? At least on this pair. And if you just look over here, this was a nice big up move. This was a nice big down move. And that's the way the market works. Big waves followed by little ones, right? If you peel back here, so you can see it happens a bunch of times here. Nice big wave. And then calmness. And then waves. And then boom. Yeah, so that's how it always works. But yeah, that's just how I feel. Whatever, it'll break sooner or later. I mean, I trade the 4 hour too, so I'm always busy. The 4 hour, the daily, and the weekly here. But the 4 hour keeps me busy, so it keeps me excited. Anyway, so there's not really much going on here. I'm still waiting for it to break to the downside. Now, I'm going to be honest. There's no way for me. I don't see a point to re-enter yet. I mean, there has to be some definitive news that I can hear or there has to be a major break of like 74 or something for me to maybe get back in. It's just so it really needs to come down some, and I don't see the U.S. dollar weakening that much more against the Aussie dollar. I just don't see it. But again, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Moving on to the Euro USD, it's the same story as the Aussie dollar. Stagnant. 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth week, hovering right here. 1.9, 1.7, 200 pip, 200 pip little channel going here. Same thing. I want to see it come down before it goes back up. Not really much happening. Pound dollar. Oh, look at that. It's even worse. It's so tight. It's just sitting there doing nothing, bouncing along. Now, on the 4-hour charts, there's, maybe you could scalp a little bit. I know the people right now who are having a field day is the people who trade like a 15-minute to an hour, or 5 minute to an hour. The scalpers and like the intraday traders. I know that they're having a field day because price is basically stagnant and it just bouncing along between this tight little channel. But if you trade those lower time frames, yeah, you could scalp some points. You can. I don't do that because I don't really have the patience for it, but you could. And that's probably the only people making any money right now. Anybody who's trading in longer term charts, it just isn't making money right now, unless they know how to make it. That I don't, because I don't see any entry points for these larger time frames here. NZD. I mean, NZD was coming down. There was some hope for the NZD, hope that it would break the 65 line here. But again, you can see here 1, 2 times now. If you remember when I first started this, I was trying to get it to come back up here again, but it never quite made it. So you can tell lower highs, right? Still going to be on a downward trend, downward slope for the longer term charts. But in the meantime, is price going to move back up here or not? For the weekly charts, we got to wait. Price needs to be in this area before we can have a shot at taking a short. However, there is an opportunity to go long also. So this is one that we're just waiting for it to make a decision, and then we can finally execute a trade. We're just waiting for price to pick where it's going to go in the near term. As of right now, it's all indecision. US CAD. US CAD slammed up against the same exact area again, right here. So it's having trouble breaking the 131. It doesn't want to really go down there, and it's just kind of hovering around these two levels. In order for it to be a long position, I need it to come back up, obviously, and it's just not doing anything right now. Today is only Tuesday, and we'll see by Friday what happens, but it looks like a huge indecision candle. Again, all this indecision. There's really not going to be much happening in terms of news this week. Not really. The speeches can surprise, but honestly, I don't think that there's going to be enough surprise to have these pairs break loose. I just don't think so. US Swiss, it's a mirror of the euro dollar, or it's a reverse mirror of the euro dollar and the Aussie dollar. It's doing exactly the same thing. Nothing. After this nice fall, and a 2-month fall, of which I cashed out a couple of weeks back. That's, now we're just waiting. I'd love even a 50% retracement, just some buyback, some strength in the US dollar. It would be nice against the Swissy, but we're waiting to see if, again, it's just in this holding pattern where nothing's really going on. And US yen still with the indecision, up, down, up, down, up, down, not really knowing what it wants to do. I got nothing for you on this one. There needs to be a steady movement before anything can happen. This is totally untradeable on the weekly charts, unless you're scalping, unless you have some kind of volume indicators or whatever. That's not me. So if anybody knows how to turn this into some money, feel free to send me some messages, and I'd love to hear about it, because this is just trash. But that's going to be it for the weeklies. So now we move on to the dailies. And then we're looking at the daily chart here on Owanda on the daily. And we can see here I have no open trade on this one. Price is kind of bouncing along here, so the only issue I have is that I'd like to really see price break. I don't want to keep getting in and having to close and taking small losses. I'm trying to avoid all that small loss stuff. But, sometimes you just have to take a shot, because if I wait till price goes back up here, I'd like to see price get up to 73. But it's probably not going to make it. So, yeah, I just don't have anything here. It's looking like it's probably going to bounce up in the short term, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4 spikes, lower highs. Higher lows. Okay, higher lows means it's drifting up to the upside. And even here, see, higher highs. It's drifting to the upside. But I need a clear entry point. And right now, I just don't have it. And I'll make some decisions. We'll see what happens. Moving on to the Euro USD here. So you can see this is where I got in on Friday. And if you remember, I said this is very high risk. So this is what happened on Monday. Price came all the way down. Price went up, I'm sorry. And this is supposed to be a short. See, so price went all the way up against me. Never really made it past this little area right here, but it looks like it's coming back down again. I'm not going to close it just yet. I'm going to give it another day and see what happens, because this is a good sign here, this long spike. So we'll just wait and see. Again, it's high risk, and right now it's against me, and I'm down some points, but that's okay. Same as the pound dollar. It never really made a run. It hit the same area again for the third time, but I don't really count that as a spike. And then it was over the weekend, so this is just over the weekend noise. And it did spike up though. That's a pretty good amount, but it's not close to my stop. I'm gonna wait one more day and see what happens to see if the trade will develop. I'm not gonna just close it just because I had one candle against me. I'm just gonna wait. To me, this is not saying to close yet. So moving to NZD, we got nothing. This is waiting here. US CAD, see, this is all garbage. Can't trade that. So waiting for something to develop there. USD Swiss, same exact thing happened. Price went against me. See, I actually had high hopes because of this long spike. I imagine it like a rubber band. When you're like gonna fling a rubber band, you pull it back and then you snap it. But again, that was Friday, indecision. And then you got today. I don't know why price is moving down, to be honest. The U.S. stock market is on a tear. So I'm not really sure why price is coming down over here. What is Switzerland doing? Nothing really. So that's that. But you can see price is starting to creep back up. Again, same as everything else. I'm not going to close it just because it moved against me. I'm going to give it another day, maybe two, depending on what it looks like. And USD JPY, this one I actually opened up today. And I did set a goal of right up here, 107. And I did that because you can 1, 2, 3. That's why. It's the next logical area for resistance, so that's why it's going up to that level. I don't see like a clear pathway for a long move. I'm just hoping that price will spike back up and hit that same level again to test it, and if it does, I can cash out some points. If not, then not, and we'll see what happens. That's the risk we take, ladies and germs. That is the risk we take, and that's going to be it for this. Shut this down. So yeah, I saw that not many people watched the my video that released on Saturday, which is fine, but I think you guys should go check it out. It's about why did I lose my train of thought just now? Oh, duh. It's about moving averages, and I go over different ways that I've used it and just the history of it. So it's a little interesting, obviously you can go everywhere you want and learn about them, but this is my take as someone who used it, a trader who traded with it, a non-professional who traded with it. So, yeah. Well, I guess I will see you guys on Friday for the Friday update for weekly and daily. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up at bearforextrading@gmail.com. Follow me on Twitter at bearforex. Visit my Patreon at bearforex for more information on how to see how I trade the ever exciting 4-hour charts, which is always fun. And then you can always visit my blog at bearforex.com, where I post every so often news articles and just my opinions about things. So we'll see you Friday. Take it easy. See ya.